What's going on? Welcome to episode 8 of the Success Series. It is your boy Chris. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Like always, hit the like button, smash the subscribe. That way we can keep growing this channel, keep growing the family. I love you guys. Thank you guys for the support, for all the love that you give me. And let's jump into episode 8, the Tortoise. Episode 8, the Tortoise. Some of you guys are so afraid of taking chances in life. One thing that you have to understand is that without taking chances, you're not going to make it anywhere in life. You're not going to do anything in life. You're not going to do anything that people are going to remember. You're not going to leave a mark on this planet. You're not going to inspire, be able to change lives, or be able to even just show people that anything is possible, right? You're so afraid of taking small steps and don't understand. People are so discouraged by small daily gains. Like, I have so many people comment like, oh, what happens on the compounding video that I posted? What happens if I don't hit the daily goal, or I have a red day, or this happens, or that happens, or this happens? And you guys are too focused, guys and girls are too focused on the negative things that can happen instead of putting your energy to the positive things that can happen. And trading, even if you make $10 a day, guess what? Making $10 a day is better than losing $10 a day, right? Or making nothing. So the small gains add up over a while, and I proved that in the compounding vlog. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend go watch it. I'm gonna tag it in one of these corners up here, right? But seriously though, the small gains add up. I'm guilty of doing that myself. I'm guilty of being afraid and being okay with making small gains on a daily basis and overextending myself, or in the market over leveraging myself when I first got into the market, and trying to make massive gains overnight or make massive gains in one trade instead of breaking it up into 10 trades or 20 trades or 30 trades that I know are going to pay me money. I would risk it. Like my first trading account, I blew it up in like 40 minutes, but like it was a completely different ball game 7 years ago. I was in penny stocks. Demo accounts didn't exist, and it just, at least it didn't exist in that. I don't know if they existed in Forex at the time, but it didn't exist in the penny stocks and with what I was doing. I don't believe in under accomplishing things, you know what I mean? Like, I set big goals, and 90% of the time, or we'll even just say 50% of the time, maybe you're not going to hit your goal. Like if you have a goal of turning $1,000 into $5 million in a year, is that possible? Beyond possible. There's no limits as to what you can do in the market. There's no limits as to what you can do growing a business or anything. It's just the limitations are literally whatever you put on yourself. And I don't think that being afraid of underachieving is something that you should really be worried about. And that goes for trading, that goes for building a business, that goes for if you're trying to read books on a daily basis. Like if you set a goal of reading 50 pages, there's nothing wrong with them. If you're reading and you get distracted, or you're tired and you just can't absorb any more information, and you stop at 20 pages, like 20 pages is better than 0 pages, right? So don't be discouraged to go and read 5 pages or 10 pages or 3 pages because you're like, I'll just read an extra 10 pages tomorrow instead. Like, no, read the 10 pages today and then do whatever you need to do tomorrow, right? And it just goes with everything in life. It goes with growing a brand on social media, growing your social media presence on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Snapchat if that's what you use, on TikTok if that's what you use, whatever the case is. There's literally nothing wrong with taking small steps, and you have to look at it like anything, treat anything like a piggy bank. Like when you were a kid, if you got $5, you would put in your piggy bank. You got another $3, you put in your piggy bank. You got $10, you put in your piggy bank. And after a few months, a few weeks, a few years, whatever the case is, you go back and that piggy bank went from being empty to weighing like 30, 40 pounds filled of change, or like a jug of water if you're filling it with change, to like whatever spare change you have. So you break a $10 bill, you take all those coins, you put it inside of a massive tub of water and fill that up, and you can use that for savings. You can use that to go buy a car. You can use that to go on a trip. You can use that to take your boyfriend or girlfriend out for dinner. You can use that for literally anything. And those small gains, most people aren't going to take that change and put it into that tub or put it into that piggy bank. They're going to say, it's $2. What's that $2 going to do for me? What's that $5 going to do for me? What's that 75 cents or 50 cents going to do for me in the future? But you add all of that up together, and what did I say, like $15 or $10 between all those additions put together, right? So it's like if you're doing that on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, you're going to have gains. Like, you're not going to be in the same place where you were when you started, even if you're making tiny gains every single day. And again, it goes with your health, with your fitness, with social media, with building a brand, with building a business, with trading, with literally anything that you being an athlete and honing your craft. Like, nothing happens overnight, and we live in a generation that people love instant gratification. They love being able to start something and having people clap for them right away, or being able to say that they achieved something right away within a few days or a few weeks, which, like, in some cases it does happen, but the reality is like instant gratification isn't something that's healthy. It's not something that we can or should even want, because there's an old saying, right? I'm sure you've heard it before. If it's easy, it's not worth it. If it's going to be worth it, it's not going to be easy, right? And that goes for anything. That goes for relationships. That goes for literally every single area of life. So don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for the easy way out. Don't put the blame on other people for why you're not achieving what you want to, or put the blame on situations, or put the blame on blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Whatever the case is, whatever excuses you're telling yourself, you need to get rid of all the excuses. You need to be okay with going at whatever speed you go best at, whether that's a tortoise or the hare. And the story of the tortoise and the hare, I think we all know what the end result was, but there's nothing wrong with going slow. There's nothing wrong with making slow gains. There's nothing wrong with going at your own pace. Another issue that we have, especially because of social media, is people compare too much what other people are doing. They care too much about how much money other people are making in the market, how many pips they're making, how many lots they're trading. The amount of times that I've been asked how much money I make from trading, how many lots I trade, how many pips I trade, the way that I trade, blah, 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 blah. So many things that aren't relevant to somebody else's growth, because they're just, I don't know, maybe they're looking for a distraction away from their own growth. They're looking for something to compare to, or something to, whatever the case is. You should never, ever, in trading and fitness and health and life, anything in life, you should never be comparing yourself to anyone else, because the reality is like no two people are the same, right? Unless you're identical twins, and like even in that, I know people that are still identical twins, but they're still complete opposites, or they have differences. They're not similar on every single aspect of life. There's no two people are the same, so there's no reason for you to be comparing yourself to anyone. There's no reason for you to be comparing yourself to someone on Instagram, whether it's with their looks or their health or the money that they're making. There's literally the growth that they have in their business. There's literally nothing that you should be comparing yourself to, that you're putting yourself down at the end of the day and looking down on yourself, that maybe you're underachieving, or you think you're underachieving, or you're not growing as fast as you want to, or you're not losing weight and getting as fit as somebody else did, or your growth in trading wasn't as quick as the next person's, or you didn't have the same amount of capital to start as the next person, or the same opportunity, or you didn't come from the same tax bracket family. Whatever the case is, blah, 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 blah. There's no reason for you to be comparing yourself to any of those things, and you guys and girls need to learn to be okay with just making small gains. You need to be okay with just going at your own pace. You need to be okay with not comparing yourself. You need to be okay with your own journey. You need to be present, literally just be as present as possible throughout your journey, because one thing that I can say that I've learned, and I learned it obviously after I achieved certain things, is that I wasn't present while I was achieving those things, or while I was working to those things, and I wasn't as grateful as I should have been once I got to the end, because I wasn't really present during the process. I wasn't really present during the journey. And the one thing that I've learned is that the journey, more often than not, is more rewarding and more beautiful than the actual end result is, whatever the case is, whether it's trying to lose weight, or getting in shape, or learning how to trade, or building a business, or building a drop shipping company, or building this, that, the other, whatever it is, becoming an artist, becoming an athlete, becoming a musician, whatever it is. That journey is probably going to be will be 10 times more rewarding if you're present and you're grateful and just expressing gratitude all the time, through all the good times, all the bad times, because you can't be grateful only during the good times. You have to be grateful for the bad times too, because there's lessons to be learned in those times, right? So you have to be okay. You have to learn to be okay with making small gains. You have to love. One thing that people need to do is learn to love themselves inside and out, because I feel like once you learn to love yourself inside and out, your faults, your weaknesses, your pros, your cons, everything, that you compare yourself less. You don't even feel the need to compare yourself to other people. You just stop comparing yourself in every aspect of life to other people, and your focus and energy is just brought back into yourself, and just being able to be the best that you can be every day, be able to strive to new levels, get new achievements, and push yourself to new boundaries and limits that you didn't even think were possible the day before, right? So I hope this inspires you to not be discouraged on your journey with whatever it is that you're doing in life. I hope this inspires you to keep pushing and keep moving forward towards your goals, no matter what you're faced with. And I hope that this inspires you to appreciate the journey, be present during the journey, and love yourself and your path and journey that you're going on, no matter how fast or slow the growth is happening. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go achieve the dream life that you've always wanted, motherfuckers. Peace.